The deadly Club Q shooting occurred in the Front Range county most hostile to a 2020 law aimed at taking guns away from dangerous people.
Well, we're certainly going to take a hard look at why red flag law wasn't used in this case.
Governor Jared Polis couldn't say on Meet the Press, couldn't say why the El Paso County Sheriff didn't try to remove guns from the Club Q suspect after a bomb threat and standoff last year.
House Bill 1177 concerning creation of an extreme risk protection order.
The red flag law Polis signed lets family members ask a judge to do that, and it gives the same power to law enforcement. But in El Paso County,
if someone needs mental health help and they're in crisis, we're going to go take their guns. To me, it seems backwards.
Sheriff Bill Elder opposes the red flag law. It took effect in 2020, but the first 2 years, 9 Wants to Know found not a single El Paso County law enforcement agency used it. Recently, that changed. Colorado Springs police filed 2 petitions this year. Both of them were granted. Even so, updated data shows El Paso County has the lowest red flag approval rate of large Front Range counties. On Sunday, Polis said he's looking for ways to increase the law's use.
What can be used to better publicize, make available, add different parties to make sure that it's used when it should be used.
And while Sheriff Elder leaves office in January, his successor, Joe Roybal, gave gun rights a prominent spot on his campaign website. Sheriff Elder has not responded to our questions about his department's handling of that 2021 case involving a Club Q suspect. We asked his successor whether he plans any changes to the department's red flag policy, but he hasn't responded either. Finally, in the last hour, Governor Polis told us he would support expanding the law to allow district attorneys or others to file red flag petitions.
And the governor also alluded to changing who could apply for a red flag order and who can do that now.
Kim, now it's limited to law enforcement and family members. Family members does have a pretty broad definition in the law. It's blood relatives, of course, but it can also be an adopted child. It can be someone with whom a person has a child with. It could be a legal guardian, and finally, it could even be somebody like a step-parent or a stepchild.
Yeah, that is pretty broad that way. And as far as forcing law enforcement to file these petitions, how does that work? Do we know?
The question for that is, could police departments be compelled to file these kinds of motions? The way to get around that, though, seems pretty difficult given that there is judgment involved. People have to look at the evidence, they have to look at the statements made by the person, and then go to a court and argue that this person is dangerous and we should be able to take away their guns for up to a year.
And this also comes on the heels of today, you finding out that the shooter's mother was also arrested a week ago. So there's a lot more to follow in this case. All right, thank you, Kevin.